Yesterday I did a video on Starfleet Academy, and on the title I said it's almost like they want us to hate it before it comes out. But then I saw a clip from the show. It was released by Trek Central, or through Trek Central. And now I'm absolutely certain they want us to hate it before the show comes out. Welcome to the Tack and Pulse podcast, your place for sci-fi news, rumour and debate.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.
So the clip is about 2 minutes. It's probably from the first episode. It looks like it's their first foray out into space. It looks beautiful, to be honest, as it always does. They're in somewhere called the Badlands. It doesn't look like the Badlands we saw in Voyager. To be honest, it probably makes a little bit more sense. Those Badlands were like a sandwich. They didn't really make a lot of sense for these swirls. But lots of like meteors and things. And it doesn't look like the best place to take a ship on its first, proper voyage with new cadets. For me, but that's where they are. And then there is some sort of tachyon anomaly. I wonder where they got tachyons from. I wonder where I got the title of this channel from. And then they're attacked. Right, my first from this little clip, and something I'm going to be worried about, is that these weapons hit and they explode a good one. But then this, I think they call it material matter. I think that's what they say. You can't quite hear it very well. Just starts growing around the ship. Now, that substance, whatever it is, they've never seen it before. So they've seen this type of thing before, but they've never seen it. I don't know if this was from Discovery. I didn't watch Discovery that closely. But it's surrounding the ship, and it's draining their power, and it's, knocking systems out. So it's a good way, I think, probably to disable a vessel. But they do return fire. It looks quite cool again. As I said, the production value is really good. I would say, though, that the way they've done it, it's quite dark, and you can't quite see what's going on. But I liked it. It looks good. The one thing I would say about these weapons that are growing, it looks like the Upside Down from Netflix and Stranger Things. It's something like growing, but the way they've done it, it's sort of like, that was just what it made me think of. It's like, it's like the Stranger, it's like the Upside Down. Brilliant. Now, this ship, the Athena, we've seen it on the ground before now, so it looks to me like this is basically Starfleet Academy. It's the training thing. So it's not just a building, it's also a spaceship. Now, in what looks like a bit of an atrium to me, I think this is the set they talked about. This is one of the largest sets they've ever, or the largest set they've ever made. There's a bloody tree in the middle. It looks like some sort of cherry blossom tree. That is a creative decision these morons have made. I don't get it. For one, it's a tree indoors. Which to me is always stupid. You do see it in lots of atriums and buildings and things to add a bit of colour or what have you, but they get natural light from somewhere to grow. This thing wouldn't have that. But also, it's a tree on a spaceship, which again is a little bit idiotic. But I think somebody was watching Passengers, and they got the idea from that. It's the only thing I can think of. It's a good film, Passengers, by the way. Check it out. So yeah. That hit me as a bit stupid. When they're under attack, they do sort of say over the comm, all the cadets get to your quarters, stay in your quarters, the officers crack on. There's a lot of officers in here. The Jem'Hadar Klingon hybrid, I forget her name, it looks like she's actually an officer on this vessel. So at the start of the clip, actually, they sort of say, there's some anomaly. I go, that might be good to test out this department down there. And they go, okay. Holograms are used a lot in this, and they actually say the emergency medical hologram at one point is down. So the doctor, Robert Picardo, did seem to suggest, and now I'm hoping I'm wrong on this, but he did seem to suggest that all of the doctors and nurses were emergency medical holograms. Now, that wouldn't make any sense. But I'm hoping what they mean is there's quite a small medical team, then in an emergency, loads of holograms appeared, which actually would make sense, because generally speaking, you wouldn't need a very big medical team. You'd be dealing with like scraped knees and headaches and stuff like that most of the time. But when you're attacked, you then need like a big team. So you use emergency medical holograms. He implied that that wasn't the case. And if that's true, that's really moronic. But let's see. Robert Picardo, though, did have a really cool little line here. He sort of said, we're getting on all right, But if another a direct contact could be avoided, that'd be great. It's kind of a good line, actually. I think Rob Picardo's character in this, how they're explaining he's got a bit chubby, I don't know. But his character, I think, is going to be a silver line. And there is another character I'm going to talk about in a minute that I actually think will be really, really good in this. And a character that I don't think will be. But what I will say is that scene, the Captain Ake, Helen Hunter's character, talks for about a minute to Robert Picardo about what's going on, are there injuries, let me know if there aren't injuries, or if there's any fatalities, let me know. And I'm like, you're under attack at this point. I'm not sure having a minute-long conversation to the doctor about how things are going is the right thing to do at that particular time. To me, I would wait until the ship isn't under increasing threat. And you're at a point where actually all the crew are about to die if this carries on the way it's going. So I'm wondering if maybe that's not a very captain-y thing to do. While we're talking about the captain, a few months ago now, I was told that Holly Hunter is not particularly good in this role. That the person I spoke to has actually seen bits of a few of the episodes. He works over at Paramount, and he basically said, look, I like her as an actor. She just doesn't fit this role. She's not captain-y. And now that seems to be a running theme with New Trek, that they just can't get a character that's like a captain. Picard is a captain. Sisko, captain. Obviously, Kirk and Janeway, captains. Seems to be a bit of a running theme with New Trek that they can't just get a captain-y character in this at all. Ake she just doesn't feel very captain-y. To be honest, Pike wasn't. He kept cooking them all dinner and bloody making stupid jokes on the bridge, which I don't think is a captain thing to do. And then Burnham used to cry on the bridge all the time. And used to try to do everything herself. They don't seem to be able to write characters like this very well like they used to. The writing is clunky, by the way. It doesn't flow very well for me. So again, that's, to be honest, a bit of a running theme with these new Star Trek things as well. But Paul Giamatti and Nusbraka is his character's name. I think his starship was called the Tootsie Roll. I think that's what they said. It's a big ship as well that came together in like 4 pieces. So I'm not really sure why they did that, but it looked kind of cool. I saw him in an interview saying that basically he wanted to play this character big and he was going to throw everything at it. He was really going to go over the top. And the creators went, yeah, do that. And to be honest, he does. And to be honest, it's kind of cool. His one line is sort of like about how time folds in on itself like a chicken origami. And I'm like, I quite like that line. It's a good line. But it's more, I think, the way he delivers it. And he delivers it very cool. So what do I actually think of this as a whole? Beautifully shot, action-packed, very cool. The characters are already starting to annoy me, and it's only been a 2-minute clip. And I do at least like that while they're on this mission, their first sort of education mission, the trouble they've got into sort of is logical. That actually Paul Giamatti's character has gone looking for them. He's got a revenge thing with Captain Ake. So it's not just like that they were on a mission and they found themselves in a problem, which to me wouldn't make sense. You wouldn't send a ship full of trainees into a dangerous area. So I think that was logical for once with Star Trek. It's not always. Does this help me want to watch it? No, to be honest. It sort of underlines a lot of the problems that I think this show is going to have. I think it's going to be an awful lot of style over substance. I think there'll be a couple of characters in there we'll like, and a couple of characters that really wind us up. To be honest, the cadets aren't in this very much, and I think they will be in the series. I think that's going to be very much focused on them. We didn't see that a lot, but the scene where they're going, oh, what's that, as the stuff grows over the window, I think is telling on what a lot of this show will be about. There's also one bit where there's a woman and she sits up, and she's a very pretty character, actually, to be fair, and she goes, ooh, ooh. And the way they did that scene, to me, makes it out that she's, again, one of the central characters, because that scene doesn't make sense otherwise. This turns me off. This was a show that I was already concerned about, and now I'm even more concerned about. So, yeah. I kind of wish I hadn't watched it, really. But guys, what do you think? Get into the comments. There is a link in the description for the clip on Trek Central, but also it's actually on the posts, so you can check it out there. Tell me what you think. Do you agree with what I'm saying, or you disagree with what I'm saying? We're allowed to disagree on this channel, damn it, as long as, you don't disagree with me. But get on there, get in the comments, tell me exactly what you think. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. It really helps us out and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can become a member of the channel and get to see a lot of these videos before everybody else. You can also go on Patreon where I do videos just for you guys. Go check that out too. As always, please stay safe and I'll see you next time.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.